Individuals are shifting, and as each individual shifts, it expands the global, and also the global expansion pulls forth the expansion and shifting for the individual. It is much like the chicken and the egg. Hey guys, welcome. And we are back to Belinda and Joe. We are going to be asking Sam some questions to find out what they have in store for us for coming up. And I know that we're coming to the end of the year. And so this is a great time to kind of reflect or get some insights and see what happens. Okay. So I'm going to, if you're new here, my name is Joe, and this is my friend Belinda, and she is the one who's going to ask questions, and I will channel a collective of angels that collectively are known to me as Sam. Hello, hello, dear ones. We are so thrilled to be here this day. Oh, yes. It is a glorious day for all of you, no matter what is occurring outside your window. So we invite you to take part in the gloriousness of this day. Yes, as we discover, uncover, yes, dig into some questions that you have for us. So we would invite you to take a breath with us. Allow your body to sink into where you are. Allow your shoulders to drop. Allow yourself to be open. Yes. And as you open, you will discover for yourselves the connectedness of our answers. Yes, dear one, go ahead.
Thank you. The term identity has come up a lot in the past few weeks with Joe. Is this a new theme that's coming through, and how relevant is it to everyone?
Well, yes, of course it is. For identity is how you know yourself, what you know yourself to be. Well, we would even say what you believe yourself to be. For identity is the structure or the collection of beliefs that you hold together as your knowing self. So your identity is key because it is also the filter through which you see or experience everything around you. And as you expand your identity, you will be dispersing or vaporizing some of the belief systems that you currently hold about yourself. For you cannot, we have said before, see past your beliefs. So if your beliefs are all of, let's say, balls in a ball pit, the structure of the pit is the surrounding walls are what keep all your beliefs inside. So you cannot see beyond that. And as this one has noticed recently, that miracles occur outside of your identity. And even when you speak of miracles, you say, I cannot believe this. Well, that's true because it is outside your belief system. Now, collectively, as a planet, your identity is shifting. You are no longer thinking of yourselves as alone or individuals, but more and more are awakening to the multidimensionality of you. And as you incorporate and engage with this belief system, your identity shifts. The moment your identity is shifting, then you can see or perceive and experience beyond those walls. So it is vital that the collectiveness of humankind is shifting its identity, and also individually many are experiencing and encountering the shifting of their personal identities. For if your identity was to stay the same, well, we would all think you were three. And that is not how it is. For as you grow and experience and become an adult, then your identity shifts. Now, your identity includes your belief systems. For this one, it may have been in the past, I am clumsy or I am not smart, things such as that, but it also includes I am a mother or a father, a brother, a sister, and so forth. So it is the labels that you identify with. Now, in your culture currently, there is a great awakening around the identity of gender, and this is becoming more and more mainstream. Now, some will identify with this structural change and culture. However, some will not, for they are going to be rigid in their thinking and attached to the identity of their particular culture or religion or country and so forth. But it is indeed shifting, and this shift will not slow down, for it has gained much momentum. And this is just but one shift in the cultural identity of humans. For also, it is in this time of communication globally, it has become known, and the shift in identity globally is that we are not alone. Yes, and that identity shift is a large cultural one as well. So, on your planet, globally, identity of humans is shifting. It is also shifting personally at a very personal level for many of you. Now, you will notice the gap between those who are expanding and shifting their belief walls and those who are not. And that gap is simply the indication that times are changing, as you would say. So the invitation for each person as an individual is to allow this expansion. For if miracles exist outside of your belief system, then wouldn't it be wonderful to have them included in your belief system so that they would occur more often and become more everyday like? Also, as the global shift takes place, it is because individuals are shifting, and as each individual shifts, it expands the global, and also the global expansion pulls forth the expansion and shifting for the individual. It is much like the chicken and the egg. It is hard to say which came first. Does this make sense at all?
Yes, it does. And it's a lot to take in. So yes, it's really nice to hear your take on it because it puts some things into perspective. It's
Mm.
on different levels. It's not just personal, it's global as well.
Yes, it is. And it will be from the individual level to the global. There are many steps in between. There are many groups of people. It could be the identity of a particular group or community of people or society of people inside of a town. So perhaps it is even as this one lives in a town with a community called Rotary. Well, inside Rotary, perhaps their identity is shifting as well. Now, it could be that the schools are shifting. It could be that a small group of people who walk their children together. their identity could be shifting. For perhaps in the past, they were only consisting of mothers and their children, and now suddenly they are consisting of perhaps nannies or sisters and brothers or fathers. So it is. Each step is expanding always, and each small expansion creates more availability for the planet. So do not think that your small shifting of identity will only impact or benefit you, for that is not true. It is the expansion for all. And the more that people are willing to have an open mind or to have a neutrality around expansion, the more it becomes available. And we want to bring forward the idea that there are those who will be in resistance. But this is not your business. That is theirs. And yours is the expansion. So if you are here, it is likely that your identity will be that of expansion and open-mindedness and love. Yes. And if you are here from a perspective of resistance and wanting to stay in place, then that is fine. There is a place for both globally. For slight resistance is good for the jumping off point or the motivation for those who want to expand. If everybody, all 8 billion of you, were expanding all at once, well, that would not be expansion then. There is the duality of living on your planet, the 3D world that you are encompassed in here in your physical body. And that 3D world requires the duality in everything, the two sides of the coin. So the resistance that some are offering is also of a benefit. Does this make sense?
It does, yes, thank you.
Perfect. Now, for the expansion of your personal identity, we would invite you to include the expansion of your 3D-ness into the multi-dimension. And that is what is occurring for so many of you and what has been occurring for this one as well. So it is always nice and lovely and beneficial to expand your identity into, oh, I am a person who wealth comes to easily, or ideas flow to, or creativity is a aspect of myself that I am expanding. Well, that is all wonderful, and it does improve your 3D life for sure. But the most beneficial identity shift that we can put forward for you is the identity shift of the multidimensional. For the minute you proclaim, declare, embrace your own multidimensionality is, oh, the biggest leap of all. And all those other smaller, or we will not say insignificant because they are not, but much more limited identity shifts around perhaps, oh, even finances or friendship or partnership and such, those will all be included in the shift of multidimensionality. For how you engage with the world depends on your perspective of what you see in front of you. And this is a loop that humans are so closely tied to that again comes up the chicken and the egg, for it is, do my thoughts create my emotions and feelings, or do my emotions and feelings create my thoughts? And this is you as a human. They come so quickly together that it's hard to distinguish that there are even two separate sparks of things occurring. So, as you include multidimensionality in your identity shift, suddenly more is available to you for your perspective, and more is available that will influence your emotions and thoughts and actions that will influence and expand your experience of your life. So we will use the example of when this one is plugged into, she suddenly has access to, perhaps it is auras or people who have passed, or even us. So it is not like the empty space around her it is no longer empty, for she is in connection with or in experience of that energy that fills the space. So the more you have access to in the multidimension, the more layers that are influenced by that. It
Mhm.
is your ability to recognize the multidimensionality of the whole of you that will indeed influence your finances and your joy and your partnerships and your love and romance and experience with people in your community and the environment that you live in. So, this is where we would invite you to start, not with the small stuff. For if you are here and listening this far, then you are ready to take on a bigger identity shift than simply that of making more money or having a tidier house. Does this idea or concept, layering of the multidimensionality, make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Oh, we are pleased, for we have been trying to get this message in for a bit. And now we are pleased to have the opportunity. And as always, we want to remind you that as you listen to this transmission, it is indeed a vibrational experience, and the words were simply a distraction for your human self as you allow the vibration, the frequencies that we are transmitting to be accessible for you. So we would thank you for your engagement in this conversation so that we may transmit a frequency that will allow the opening and the shifting to your own multidimensionality.
Thank you.
You are most welcome, dear one. We love you oh so much.
May I have Joe back? Thank you.
Oh, oh my goodness. Mm,
I think the
wow.
video froze slightly at the end, but other
Okay.
than that, it just, I thought, how on earth can they talk that long on a simple subject? But it wasn't. It was huge.
I want to say it doesn't feel like a simple subject. So,
No,
everybody, thank you very much for joining us today. If you appreciate our work, then please support my channel by clicking the subscribe button and the bell to get notified when new transmissions come in. Thanks, guys, and have a fabulous day.
bye.